How's it going, people? So, we just recently got to some new pages. Did these two on stream the other day. Did this the day before then. This page 13 here. And I worked on this one on stream the other day. Page we'll be working on today on stream will finally be this one. Oh, that's actually decent because you can actually see the lines I put down instead of what's underneath. So I changed Samara's pose a little bit because I didn't like what I had for an underdrawing. And I've been kind of roughing this one out a bit, just kind of changing little small things here and there, but overall it's kind of the same pose. I haven't really done much to change like stuff that's kind of overlapping and stuff like that yet. But I think it looks decent so far. Still not, I'm not exactly happy with the kick perfectly yet. I think it could be a little bit better. I think I could push it, you know. But it doesn't necessarily look bad. I just feel like, you know, I could like push it to be a little bit more dramatic, or well, the foreshortening could be better. I think I'm pretty okay with legs, but I don't practice enough foreshortening for it to really hit the way I want to yet, so I'm always going to keep practicing it. But for now, it's okay. I'm mainly drawing this with this pencil here. It's like it's a lead holder, and I'm using like using these joints. Using what is this? 6B. Did not realize just how soft the 6B was. It can be really soft, and I end up breaking the lead. But that's okay. Sorry, I'm spinning. When I'm thinking like, if this guy is going backwards, what I need to do is kind of make that motion with like his hair. So it should be kind of falling over his face. So overall, like the shape would be like this. Essentially, be like what it very similar to what it's already like when it falls down on his face, except it'll be a lot more dramatic, covering some portions of his eyes, like really forcing it to go one direction. I'm also adding like extra strands to like make it feel really like it's moving. I'm definitely going to clean this up a bit though. But overall, going for like energy, going for like the overall energy of this part. And I have his ear being cut off here by this collar. So I need to make the collar bigger or flatten the ear. I'm going to kind of try and go for flattening the ear. A little bit of both. Hope everyone's been having a good day. Gonna definitely try to improve as much of this as I can. I'm already like, I can make that mouth bigger, better. But I'm also like trying to make sure I don't. Sorry, my hand keeps hitting that button. Trying to make sure I don't overdo certain things, like things that are not necessary. Like, yeah, that mouth could be better, right? But it also technically works right now. Could make a lot of things better in the grand scheme of things. It's all about what you want to try and achieve emotionally from the picture. I may not be using ink, but I am trying to think about like applying some line weights here and there. Some lines need to be a bit sharper, and some need to be a bit thicker here and there. I'm trying to be like, okay, like which lines are these? Which lines do these need to be? And I probably need to make this guy's head a lot bigger. It's got a really big head. That looks a lot better. Already know this should be casting a shadow, so I'm gonna get this really sharp pencil. Hmm. going to use that for the basis for what a shadow is going to be. I should add a little bit more so that it's a little bit more dimension on this side of the body. There we go. Should definitely do a bit here. I'll probably enhance that later on the computer using like certain values. Okay, so could emphasize the shoulder here on this part, but is there a point to doing that? Not at all. No point in doing that. He's going back. Now I could emphasize the direction he's going. Because everything else here wouldn't be moving, but this part of his body is moving. So I section off the part that isn't moving, as in like the major back part here, by adding lines going from here to here, show the direction that that part of his body is moving. So major shadow would be here. And then I'm going to take one of these pencils here, and I'll go ahead and show the direction of where he's going, where he's coming from. Essentially a trail. Tries not to break pencil point. Now usually people tell you to learn to like move your pencil a certain direction. It's like everyone has a really good angle that they can do, but sometimes you have to do both in order to maximize the range of your like technique and stuff. Can't just do one. I usually move well, I usually start from here and go there. It's usually my best angle that I can like draw it, but it doesn't work for this pose, so I had to figure out how to get comfortable doing a different angle and what my most comfortable one is. I think it's basically working. Now all I have to do is essentially fill in that space. I have that going on. I could also do that with this part of the arm. Again, this is where the shadow would be. Most of the shadow, the trail will be going this direction. Alright, everything below that doesn't need to have a trail to it. It's mainly the upper body that's moving away from this tick. Everything else is relatively stationary. should definitely be actually filling in stuff on the other character first. Let's not keep making mistakes. Okay, so this guy is actually in motion, mainly this guy is right, this side of this character here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to emphasize the motion on this side of the body, and I'm not going to emphasize it over here. So I'm just going to fill in these shapes, because I already, on the previous page, I kind of used these lines to kind of show like a building up of energy, or like he wasn't, I didn't fill in these black shapes, essentially, because he was in motion. And now there should be a release of that type of tension. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fill in these black shapes, give him more solid, or a more solid shape, because he's done building up that energy. He's releasing it here, and that'll be in the form of that kick. So all the other black spaces that I had on that other picture, now they can actually be fully black like they usually are when he's not in motion, except for the area where he's throwing the kick. So far, I actually like these pencils. They have a bit more texture than what I thought they would. They're not as soft as like the other lead that I've bought, even though they're probably the darkest lead. And that's really odd and interesting to me. In the pursuit of trying to be like other people, you often fail and end up being more like yourself. It's not a quote or anything, it's just something that came into my mind. I was like, I'll get these pencils and they'll make my lines darker like, X, Y, and Z artists that I'm checking out on YouTube. And come to find out, that artist doesn't even use these type of pencils. They probably don't need to, and I probably don't either. But now that I've bought them, I like them. I kind of want to keep using them for random other purposes. So in that way, I'm not really copying anymore, kind of adding on. Alright, so this is the area I was talking about, since we're close to the foot. Just going to bring more attention to the foot, essentially. like adding smaller strands so that it's not a completely solid black here. It probably doesn't, it's not going to show up completely if you don't see it yet type thing. I'm going to put more emphasis on it with other lines that I make in different areas. I was like, where'd that cut off of that shoulder go? Okay, stop spinning the paper. Sorry about that. Probably looks odd. Need to get a different sheet of paper so that I can keep it that way while also not smearing it. The previous one I was using the other day, the sound effect on it. Let me make sure I get this outline. Goes about there. This man's head looks so funny right now to me. Like, why is his head like this? This guy in particular, I'm like, what? Why Why does your head look like that? Okay, that's a little bit better. As much as I love these pencils, they do smear. And that is a little bit worrisome. Makes me worry a little bit. And I fill them off completely in. Oh, the inside of the mouth. Alright, looks pretty cool. Got like hair going over the eye here. And then it goes ahead and overlaps here. Where'd my eraser go? Alright, there's a gigantic eraser, but oh well. It's not what I was looking for. Every now and then, when I put too much pressure on the sumo grip joint, it makes this little clicking sound. I'm always worried, like, am I about to break this pencil? That's what happens in my mind. I'm like, am I really about to break the pencil? Luckily, it hasn't broken. Basically adding some line weights around the hand. Sometimes if I'm using a regular pencil, the lead has already kind of went from being pointy to being broader. I don't have to like work so hard to do it. I can almost do it in one stroke. Like when I literally draw the hand, it'll already have those types of line weights coming out for it. So, but right now I don't have that, so that's fine. If you guys are working on any projects, how's that coming along for you guys? I'm always curious to see what everyone's working on. Anyone reading anything? I've been kind of sort of reading through some Blade of the Immortal when I get the chance to. Seems to be a pretty good series. It's kind of getting better as time goes on. Okay, it's looking decent. Kind of just looking at it from like the OBS screen now, like, Now we can start working on this side. Switch to a different one of these pencils. Unless it's a bad idea, I'll probably grab this one. The other one side. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start filling in this leg. I'm also gonna let this kind of fade in. I mean, could kind of cheat a little bit, put like a slight little halo here, but it doesn't need to be there completely. Because it already sticks out enough. It's actually pretty fun that I can do that instead of having to consistently make these really straight, perfect lines or a pattern. I can kind of zigzag if I want to. But because this pencil has such texture, it's a little bit more difficult to do. Alright, so we finally about the end of the shape here. So I'm going to try and go the other way to make sure I maintain the line that's kind of in between those two spaces. Almost did it correctly. Alright, now I can start kind of allowing there to be some space in between certain lines. So I'm probably going to go up to around here with like the darkness, but then when I get up there, I'm going to start changing it outward, starting to kind of flailing out, or fanning out to kind of give that extra amount of extra amount of space in between each line. Alright, basically about that space here. I think that's essentially what I'm going for. And that does that part of the job for that effect I'm going for. I think well, there's multiple reasons why I think that. I'm going to actually go back to that shoe. I kind of want to do it later, so I'm just going to hop around and fill in some other things. But it's a decent amount of reasons why it works. One, the character acting, I hope is decent enough to where as though character believes that they should dodge because, you know, they're afraid of what could happen, if they think is a good idea to dodge. Number two, what happened before kind of answers all that. Both of these characters can freaking destroy a boulder with their abilities, and they're just kind of playing around. So they're both very strong. So that gives some sort of level of like some sort of level of worry, I guess. Like I don't want to get hit by that. What else can we say? And hopefully the energy that the pose is giving off, showing that it's a very strong and powerful pick. You wouldn't want to get hit by it. So that's the way it's drawn. It's character's reaction to it, and the proof of what the kit could do from a previous action. And it's all in the same chapter, so it's not like you need context from a different chapter to like be caught up on the possibility of if this guy's kick is strong or not. Can just literally use the proof from what's going on in this chapter. Love pitching mistakes. Okay, so let's go. We just got a shoe. Alright. That part is done there. Probably need to add more. Of course, I'd hit the button again. Just kind of checking out the overall image at this point, making sure that I guess I like most of it. A notification? What could it be? What could it be? this is looking pretty cool. I'm okay with most of it. Some of the shapes are a little iffy here and there. Some of these are a little scratchy. I actually don't need this other side, just want more dimension, but it doesn't, I don't know if it works for that exactly. I don't think it does. I'm gonna add a little bit more dimension to these hands with some line weights. That way they don't get lost at all. Okay, I'm digging the line weights now. Looking a little bit better here and there. Don't really want to put too much dimension on this part of the arm here. But I'm gonna have to do something. So again, we're gonna make sure that we're bringing attention to mainly this leg. So we don't need anything here. This can be completely dark. Alright, that's that. Have the hand there, need to erase some things. May have put too much there as far as line weights go. Hand looks okay. That's okay. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I want to use that one particularly, but use this. Kind of emphasize kind of like emphasize the muscle here. Which means I should be able to do the same for the hand. That could be pretty cool. Gotta figure out some sort of shape that I could hit for that. There's a certain amount of power and expression to that arm. Kind of extend it the way it is, along with this kick coming forward. Still not in love with that foot right now. I'll probably have to fix it up something different. Doing something not completely different, but just like a different pose with just a little slight difference. But I'll worry about that later. this reads well enough. You gotta see it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it overall. Now everything else is like these smaller things. Oh, I could also, since this is going back, I could also do the same with this arm here. But I'm not completely sold on this pose. I could definitely drop it into shadow here. Like, why is this man's arm bulked up like this here? I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't need to be that. It also helps if his arm looks more like that instead. Alright, I can play around with that. Oh look, instantly created a tangent. Hopefully that helps out a little bit. There we go. We have pointed the ear past the arm so that the ear doesn't go directly into the arm. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. I was worried about a tangent where the ear was literally a straight line into the arm. It's kind of pointed it upwards, so there's a little bump right in the middle of there. So it doesn't create a tangent so easily. It's looking pretty cool. Everything else is everything else is these smaller pictures. I'll have to make them really tight, so I'll be probably using this and yeah, mainly this and this. Like, I don't think anything else can get as tight. How long have we been streaming? Let's make sure we're good. We're about 1:15-ish, around there. Actually, now searching for my other pencil, because even though, oh, there we go, found it. Good. Even though I enjoy this pencil, I don't know, for some reason, this having like, has like, it feels both, like it can be loose and also tight at the same time. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because it has no grip. So I don't know why that is. Make sure this is on camera correctly. And actually, since I'm going to be exactly right here, I might as well zoom in a bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Alright, hope you guys can see that a little bit better. Get something to drink real quick. That's actually funny. I just realized that I literally... Oh, it's because I didn't like that pose completely. Let's see how I feel after I get a little bit further. Realize that I didn't draw some art in on the shoulders, even though I left space for it right there. Yay! I made up a hand on shrink, and it doesn't look too bad. Alright, that part, the leg is here, knee, cool. So that, this will be dark. Yeah, the fit, oh, hold on. Actually, this is perfect. I can literally just, I'm gonna just fill this in dark, I guess. I think that'll work. It's not a good drawing there, but it's kind of what I would like to go for the overall feel of this part. Okay, now we can go ahead and put some more things here. It's the eye area, shape for the nose, shadow, lip, might as well put some gun showing. Hmm. Alright, second call. Do this here. She's on the shoulder. Make the eye smaller here. Eraser time. Right, so this is going directly here. Okay, so when it comes to the hair, I should, so the hair is this essentially right now. And yep, that can actually work. So I can literally place Halo here over top of Samara, and we can something like that. The ears. Oh, like that part. How about this is fine. Something like that. It's a little bit better. Alright, and it's going to be black right there. Alright, cool. It's essentially like a close-up there. I have a kick impeding or coming down to here instead of like a flowing forward type thing. You have a vertical motion going on. Make sure with sync. How much power do we have left? Oh, decent amount of power. Makes me wonder if I haven't been really charging this thing fully. It doesn't look that bad, but it also looks bad. Alright, that looks better. So I'm going to get the initial poses down so that everyone can see. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like my process at the moment is kind of like I probably said it in the previous stream, but I'll say it here as well. So basically, I work on the computer and I create underdrawings, and I use my printer and I print those underdrawings on the back side of the paper, flip the sheet over, and I essentially use my pencil on the other side. So I don't have to worry about like erasing my underdrawing, and if I want to create a new drawing, a derivative of what's underneath, I can do that, knowing that I have a lot to work with on the other side of, if I want to go back or something. When I was doing this one, I wanted to make sure this one was really big. I wanted to make sure that like this page really felt big and stuff like that. It's like a money shot type thing. And I was like, okay, I went and did that, went and printed it out. But what had happened was I of course lost some of the drawing on each side, here and also on this side, which is why I had to kind of invent that arm. But arm's fine. But the good thing is I knew it was possible, so I ended up printing out everything that I knew I was going to put on bigger paper on its own sheet anyway, like by itself, even if I wasn't going to use it. And now, even though I should have done this earlier, I'm going to go ahead and look at what that's supposed to look like on the sheet. So this is what it looks like. Yeah. Wait a minute. Did I also lose the same amount? Okay, no. Alright. So this is basically what I'm looking at here. Trying to figure out the pose and everything. So I lost a little bit. I lost the arms, but that's not too hard to get back. What does that look like there? Yeah. No, it's not bright enough to do that, but that's fine. That is just fine. So we have the shape here, so that's what we're gonna do. We've got here. Got a decent amount to work with. What does this look like again? Like that. It's funny because the shape I chose to go with is more comical than it is serious. It's actually like loopy. Like this man's arms. This man's arms are like these little, kind of very expressive, more than they are serious. It's kind of just reaching back. That's where the shoulder would be. The head is laying out here. Hair. It's this very difficult looking arch. And then you have a shadow underneath. Basically, it looks like that. I find it funny because it's I guess it's not a serious tone type thing, but also it's not supposed to be that kind of thing. I could technically get away with it, um, because the scene doesn't require it to be super serious. But also, I don't want to do that, so I'm probably just not gonna delve too hard into that realm. I could. Actually, it's supposed to go on this time. A minute, it's not true. Just splits here, doesn't it? Yeah. Yep. Technically get away with that look. Hmm. Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. was thinking, hey, I should pull out those French curves. I was like, could help, but also I don't want to be wasting time yet with French curve stuff. I can do it by hand and get the kind of the effect I'm going for. Thing about French curves and stuff like that is like once you use them, that'll become the look that like people expect from you. So as soon as you try to go back to doing something by hand, people will say, "Hey, he's getting, or she's getting, or they are getting sloppy." But if you do it enough by hand and it looks neat enough, then you can always do it by hand as long as your hand's steady enough to do it. And it'll always be like, it'll kind of be like the amount of error you have in your hand will be acceptable because it'll be consistent. And in a way, consistency is more important than like taking advantage of certain tools and stuff like that. Sometimes taking advantage of certain tools may be so different that it'll be jarring to look at, and it'll be like, wait, like then you kind of lose the reading experience and go, oh snap, did they start employing 3D backgrounds out of nowhere? Kind of takes you out of it, and you become aware of what's really happening behind the scenes without really wanting or needing to know at that point in time. But again, I mean, it's up to you as the creator, what you want to do. If it's more beneficial for you to get work done that way, then it's cool to like switch, do different stuff anyway. So try out whatever you want. For me personally, at the moment, I don't feel like filling out the French curves. I have a certain amount of them. I hardly use them anymore though. Okay. Now I have this face on the end. And I start off with here. Alright, liking that look. No, you guys probably can't see that much. Liking that look. Alright, really dig that face there. I hope this joint reads well, you know. I think it reads well. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and zoom out, see what we got. We have 18% left. First way to zoom out a bit. That's decent. Back to manual focus. Okay. So, this is essentially what we got. We got this joint here so far. The kick line work is decent, I would say. And then we have these next couple panels coming up, right? So it should kind of read like, you know, this here, basically that. And then we'll go in right into the next page. But yeah, I'm liking the way it's turning out. I'm liking the faces and stuff that I have there. A lot more work here and there to do. Fill in some black here and there. But overall, I think it's looking pretty cool. So that's where we're gonna stop for tonight, essentially. What should I say? I'm still new to all of this. What page is this? Let's see here. So we just did page, right? It's page 14 there. So this page 15. Page 15. So yeah, really dig this face. I really dig this face. But thank you guys for coming to the stream today. It's been awesome. Really enjoying, just like I said, sharing this process with everyone. Because I really love working on comics. I love working on comics. They're awesome. And this is basically how I'm doing things right now. I love showing people how I do these things, and I kind of switch up my process. I don't have this kind of set in stone process per se yet, though I do have things that I'm going for, that I'm trying to hit, like certain marks and whatever, certain emotional, impactful type things. And I'm always learning and trying to improve, and I'm cool with sharing any of those things in any way I can with you guys. So it is, what is it? It is Tuesday right now. And we have 3 more streams for the week. I hope that we can actually finish off the rest of the pages and be able to work on the cover together as well. Because I printed that out, but I need to actually reprint it because it's a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be. But let me see, how many more pages do we have? Because this is, I believe, a 19-page chapter. So I don't think we should have many more pages. Let's see, how many pages is this chapter? Of course, I'm missing a page out of this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's about 6 pages left. I think so. Unless I'm missing a page or anything. Yeah, it feels like it's about 6 pages. So it's around 20 pages. That's really cool. It's a little bit past 20 pages actually. That's awesome. I like that a lot. Be able to come back and do this amount. Yeah, we have 3 more days. I guess that means that I'll be trying to do 2 pages a day. So that definitely means I'll be working some on the pages before I stream a little bit to kind of get things ready and trying to get things done as quickly as possible. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy the content I'm putting up. Would greatly appreciate it. If you guys are working on anything, or if you have any questions, you want to talk about anything, go ahead and leave comments in the section when we stream and stuff like that. We can talk about it. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.